Hello everyone and welcome to A Slice of My Life. This is the follow-up video to my Damned Designs Yokai. Yeah, I did an unboxing and first impressions video, so if you have not yet checked out that video, make sure that you do. I'll put a link in the description box down below for you to check that out, because there is a lot of information about this knife, like the specs and everything, that I shared in that video that I will not be talking about in this video, so make sure you go check it out. Okay, so when I left off at the end of the first impressions video, I told you guys that I'll be putting this on my EDC for at least a week, and I carried this for actually about 3 weeks. I started to alternate this with other knives because I wanted to kind of have a back and forth exchange between this knife and the other knives, just so I could get a better feel of this. Now, I really thoroughly enjoyed my experience with this knife, but it is not a perfect knife. The experience was good, but it is not perfect, and I'm gonna be telling you guys my main gripe about this. Now, before I even get into that, if you guys are wondering how come the scales look a little bit different from what it looked like in the first impressions video, that is because I disassembled the whole thing, and then I even took out these inlays here and I stone washed that black PVD coating, so now it's got a nice stone washed look. I am a fan of the stone wash finish. I really like it a lot, and so I decided to do it to this particular knife as well. This knife actually disassembles pretty well, and also these inserts here are completely removable. They are not glued into the frame at all. They are actually held in by these two screws here, the pivot screw and the screw at the back here, as well as the screw for the clip. These two pieces are completely separate. Just take them out and then you get just the raw scale, so that's really quite simple. So what are my gripes? The biggest gripe actually is this pocket clip here. Now, the pocket clip is actually quite okay in terms of handling and the ergonomics, but what I'm talking about is the fact that I'm not able to use this knife without the pocket clip. Now, this particular screw holds the pocket clip in to the frame as well as the back spacer. There's a little, what do you call that? I don't know what you call it, like a standoff? They're like a standoff spacer kind of thing that is in there. It's threaded, so this screw has to go into that standoff in order to hold everything in place. And the Damned Designs Wraith also has the same kind of setup or structure, and that's something that I find a little bit of a gripe. Now, I wish that this knife could have its pocket clip completely removable so that I'll be able to use a knife without the pocket clip, but that is unfortunately not an option. Now, if you remove the pocket clip and you just screw this screw all the way down in there, there will be a little bit of give here, so you'll have this half of the scale kind of moving a little bit up and down, and that just doesn't feel comfortable in hand at all. Doesn't feel secure. So that's one thing that Damned EDC should be looking into for their next knife iteration. Now, another thing I want to mention is this lanyard slot here. Very much like the Damned Designs Wraith, this is actually a cool idea to have the lanyard slot flush with the frame itself, but this slot is just way too narrow for you to kind of sleeve a 550 paracord in. Now, if you have a 325 or 330 paracord, I think that would not be a problem, but majority of us actually use 550 paracords because in my opinion that is the most popular size paracord. You're not able to just sleeve it in. You'd have to disassemble the entire knife and then slip it in around the back spacer as you reassemble it. If you notice, it's not moving at all. It's not even shifting. It's just way too tight for that paracord in there. But you know, I did this because I wanted to show it to you guys. And if you guys are wondering what bead this is a Combat Beads concealed bead. Now, the next gripe, and this is like half a gripe, and I'm calling it half because I think that there are others who are worse off than me. And for me, these liners actually have some small pits or scuffs in them, especially this area over here. You could probably see that little dot right there just above the dash or the underline of the Damned EDC logo. That's a small little pit or a bubble. I don't know what that is, but that should not be there. Now, in the X of the Damned EDC logo, there also is a circular pit. Then there is a small rough patch here. Trying to get the light reflection to show you guys. Yep, you can see that. And then the rest of it is relatively smooth, but there is some small little black dots here and there. And on the flip side as well, there's some pits here. So the carbon fiber, or this, whatever this inlay is, wasn't finished very well in my opinion, and that could have been done better. If you just glance at it, it looks great, but if you really take a look at it, then you'll find all these imperfections that might irk you. To me, it's just, I think the way the material was made, you know, like in my opinion, that's basically it. I think that it's something that is beyond human control. I don't know, I may be wrong, but that's something that I wanted to point out as well. Now, comparing this to the Damned Designs Wraith, the jimping here is just wonderful. I don't know why the jimping on the Wraith was so much sharper versus the jimping here. Now, the jimping here on the flipper tab is not as sharp as on the Wraith. Now, let me get the Wraith back in here. It looks like it's almost the same kind of design in general. I mean, how many variations of jimping can you do, right? But this This flipper tab here is just smooth. It offers good enough of a grip, but it doesn't even bite my skin. It doesn't shave off any dry skin at all. This is really done very well. And then the jimping up here on the top of the harpoon area, this also is very well done. There's chamfers and everything all around it. This is quite well done. And last but not least, the jimping here on the lock bar, that does not bite at all. That is super comfortable. And basically, these 3 points of jimping really make the experience of the knife just awesome, because it's nice to flick open, and then it's nice to hold as well in terms of whatever grip you want to use, and it's also nice to close. It doesn't bite at all, and especially here, being able to just put my thumb into that slot, not having to worry about having my thumb far back or something, just up here, knowing that the jimping from the flipper tab is not going to bite into my thumb. That's really, really nice, and just raises the confidence in handling this knife. It's pretty darn awesome, I gotta say. So very good job in terms of that. So those are the kind of like negatives and positives about this knife. Now in terms of the ergonomics and handling, this knife is really comfortable. It's way more comfortable compared to, say for example, the Damned Design's Wraith. This pocket clip actually is more curved than the pocket clip on the Wraith, and for some reason that just makes it a lot more comfortable to hold. I don't know, it's funny because it is the same height and it's the same length roughly, but because of this extra curve, it's just way more comfortable to hold in hand. I do feel it against the palm of my hand, but it's not uncomfortable at all. Doesn't even bite. And I could bear down with this pretty easily and it just doesn't hurt. I've been using this and I've been really enjoying it so far. Like, I really enjoyed the experience with the Yokai a lot. I think Damned Designs really did a good job with this one. The main gripe would be this pocket clip over here. Everything else, I can't really say much. And this, at a price point of $175 for titanium frame lock with these beautiful carbon fiber inserts. Then you got a titanium pocket clip, M390 steel. I mean, you guys can choose whether you want the Yokai or the Basilisk. If you are not fans of the Tanto blade, just get a Basilisk. That is a drop point. It looks awesome as well. I'm quite a fan of this Tanto style. I think it looks really aggressive, and I love the name tied to it, especially because it's the Tanto, because Tanto is Japanese and Yokai is a Japanese name for like some kind of a demon or a devil. I think that's quite cool, man. This thing just, like, the name and the shape just ties together, and I love it a lot. And I'm such a sucker for harpoon style blades as well. So all in all, I think this is a pretty good purchase. It's $175. All in all, very, very, very good value for money in my opinion, and I do not regret purchasing this from Damned EDC. So good job. That is my verdict after spending 3 weeks with this guy. Initially, I thought this would be a possible contender for my favorite EDC knife. It did not, however, topple the first place EDC knife in my books. That would be the Spyderco Para 3. This comes in at a very close second. I gotta be honest, this comes in at a very close second because of the size. Now the overall size is a little bit bigger than what I'm comfortable carrying. This is a almost 3.5 inch blade, and I like a blade that is 3 inches or less. But I gotta say that because of that extra real estate, you get more purchase in terms of the handle, so it's a lot more comfortable to hold in hand. But I didn't really have that problem with the Para 3. So, you know, overall sizing and everything, I think this loses out in terms of the size for me to be really, I guess, a kind of an EDC pocket carry knife, because, you know, I classify this as a folding pocket knife, so I want to have this comfortably in my pocket all the time. This is a little bit larger than I would like, and it's a little bit heavier. So yeah, unfortunately it is not my favorite EDC knife, but it comes in at a very, very close second with a couple of gripes nonetheless, but a very, very good and compelling purchase overall. Now, those of you who have not yet purchased your Yokai and are on the fence, I mean, whether or not it's a Yokai or a Basilisk, for $175, take my word for it, it's a very good purchase. That action, very snappy. The way this whole thing was built and machined and fit together, I think it's really good. The only main gripe is that this pocket clip is not removable, and of course, you guys can already tell there's only one pocket clip orientation. It's gonna always be tip up carry, right side only. Hello everyone and welcome to a slice of my life. I know y'all missed Tetris.
Hi guys!
Hey Sean and Genji. I don't even know the point of why I'm making this video, bro. This is the one I wanted to see.
It looks damn sick, eh?
Yeah, fucking sick. I still watch the metal. Now I think the color pops more. Flipper, bro, flipper.
Okay, now my flipper is scary.
And you failed.
Oh, very sharp, ah.
Yeah, of course. Don't be afraid, ah.
Sorry, I pussy, ah.
How y'all doing, guys? Good?
I miss this. I miss this.
Yeah,
video.
I know, me too. Just checking in and letting you all know that Tetris, Kenji and Sean are all doing good. It's been a while since we hung out. Basically, Kenji, Tetris and myself have moved on from the company. Sean's still there, poor boy.
One thing.
But it's almost Christmas, so we're just hanging out. And I thought to just check in and say hi, because I know you guys miss Tetris.
I miss you guys too, although I don't have a channel on my.
But that's about it, everyone. I just wanted to say that. Now it's verdict time. Out of 3 fucks that I have to give, I give this thing 2 fucks. The reason why I give it 2 fucks is because there is still some room for improvement. Now don't get me wrong, this in my opinion is a better knife when compared to the Damned Designs Wraith. And I know I'm comparing these two a lot, but I just wanted to be fair, you know. This is $175. It's not the cheapest knife out there in the market. I know that there are budget EDC knives out there and budget offerings from different companies, but you know, this being a Damned EDC offering, I think it's really well made, very good material choices as well, and it looks beautiful. Haven't found another knife that utilizes this particular carbon fiber. This is just so beautiful, man. The red really pops. So in terms of the way it looks, in terms of the materials used, I would say that 175 may be too expensive for some, but in my opinion, it's really value for money. And that is basically it. Thank you so much for sticking all the way throughout and sharing in the slice of my life. If you like the content and you would like to see more, make sure that you subscribe to the channel, and if you do subscribe, make sure also to hit the bell so that you'll be notified of any new uploads that I put out. Also, I run a Patreon page. I'll put a link up here to that in case you want to go check it out. And if you do become a patron of mine, thank you so much in advance. It really means a lot. Once again, everyone, this is the Damned EDC Yokai in the red marbled carbon fiber. I really like it. It's such a looker. And that's it. I'll catch all of you in the next slice of my life. And until then, everyone, Gaga Boost.